Welcome, brave souls, to Mythic Hidden Chronicles. Today, we ride deep into the heart of the untamed frontier. A place where the sun scorches the earth, law is written in blood, and every man carries the weight of his past. Saddle up, because this isn't just a story, it's a journey into the wild, unpredictable soul of the Old West. Stay with us until the very end, because in these dusty lands, legends are born from the fire of redemption. The wind howled across the barren plains, carrying with it the scent of old battles and broken promises. Under the blistering sun, the town of Red Hollow stood alone, a cluster of weary buildings bleached by time and fear. Once, it had been a place of hope. Now, it was a graveyard waiting for the next body. Into this dying town rode a man cloaked in dust and silence. His name was Elijah Crow. A gunslinger with a past darker than midnight, Crow bore the weight of 100 sins. His eyes, like storms contained behind steel shutters, surveyed the empty streets as if reading the final chapter of a story already written. But for Crow, the story wasn't finished, not yet. Red Hollow had been swallowed by a gang known only as the Blackthorn Devils. Led by a ruthless man named Silas Kane, they ruled with a cruelty that turned neighbors into strangers and hope into ash. They didn't just steal gold or cattle, they stole dignity, day by day. Crow wasn't here for justice. He was here for redemption. Long ago, he had ridden with the devils. He had burned towns, taken lives, and left nightmares in his wake. But a betrayal too deep to forget had carved a canyon through his soul, leaving him to wander the west as a man searching for his lost humanity. As Crow dismounted, a boy no older than 12 stood watching him, clutching a battered rifle too large for his thin arms. "You here to kill Kane?" the boy asked, voice trembling. Crow didn't answer. He only nodded once, slow and deliberate. Word spread through Red Hollow like wildfire. Windows cracked open, faces peered from behind curtains, and whispers filled the dusty air. For the first time in months, the townsfolk felt something they thought they had forgotten. Hope. But hope was a dangerous thing. Night fell, and with it came shadows that crawled like vipers. Crow walked into the saloon, boots heavy with purpose. The devils were there, sprawled at tables, their laughter as jagged as broken glass. At the center sat Silas Kane, a predator in human skin, nursing a bottle of whiskey. "Well, if it ain't Elijah Crow," Kane drawled, eyes narrowing. "Thought you died with the rest of your regrets." "Not yet," Crow replied, his voice like gravel grinding beneath wagon wheels. The saloon fell silent, tension coiling like a rattlesnake ready to strike. "I came to end this," Crow said. Kane grinned, flashing teeth stained with vice. "You and what army?" As if summoned by destiny, the door creaked open behind Crow. Townsfolk stepped inside, armed with rusty rifles and makeshift weapons. Men and women alike, scarred by hardship, but fueled by defiance. Even the boy with the oversized rifle stood among them, his hands steadier now. "We are the army," a voice declared from the crowd. The devils laughed at first. But laughter turned to curses when the townsfolk opened fire, their shots wild but full of fury. Chaos erupted. Tables overturned, lanterns crashed to the floor, and the saloon became a storm of smoke and blood. Crow moved like a specter of vengeance, his revolvers speaking the language of death with every pull of the trigger. He wasn't fighting for himself anymore. He fought for every soul Kane had tormented, for every child forced to cower in fear, for every dream trampled under the boots of the devils. One by one, the gang fell. But Kane was a different breed of monster. The two men faced each other beneath the shattered chandelier, guns drawn, hearts pounding like war drums. "You think killing me makes you clean, Crow?" Kane spat. "No," Crow replied, leveling his revolver. But it's a start. The shot thundered through the ruins of the saloon, echoing like a final judgment. Cain crumpled to the floor, a lifeless husk of cruelty extinguished. When dawn broke over Red Hollow, it found the town reborn. Smoke still curled from the wreckage, but the air felt lighter, as if the ghosts had finally been exorcised. Crow stood at the edge of town, saddlebag slung over his shoulder, ready to vanish into the horizon once more. "Where will you go now?" the boy asked, standing beside him. Crow glanced toward the rising sun, a faint glimmer of peace flickering in his storm-gray eyes. "Wherever the wind takes me," he said. As he mounted his horse, the townsfolk gathered to watch him leave. No words were spoken, but their silent gratitude followed him like a shadow. Because in Red Hollow, legends aren't written by destiny. They are forged by the choices a man makes when the dust finally settles. The Wild West was never just about outlaws and lawmen. It was about redemption, the choices we carry, and the battles that shape our souls. Thanks for joining us on this thrilling ride through the untamed frontier. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe to Mythic Hidden Chronicles for more epic tales of history, legend, and adventure. Hit that like button, leave a comment, and let us know who was your favorite character in this story. Until next time, keep your spirit wild, and remember, every legend begins with a spark.